everybody. Hi again. Nice to see you all again. Thank you for joining me. Just looking at participation here and attendees. Currently have three people here, and they are hello to Janet Bryan, Kelly Gardner, and Trudy Neal. It was really, really good. The advanced course just now was really, really amazing. I think it's really, really good. What I'm going to do is just, if everybody could agree to the rules that were set out in the messenger, that would be tremendous. Okay. What I'm going to do is beginning of this slideshow. Currently have it up here for the Bewitched program that will start fairly soon. But I need you to get that. Okay. We'll go back to it. There we go. This slideshow, I'm going to do it from the beginning. Okay. That's me. Bewitched. That's good fun. High Priestess, teaching the students, those priestesses, and all of you here are now, as soon as you signed that priestess, if you've done the advanced course, because we've got our own coven now. To do that course is £45. We've got our own coven. The advanced, so basically, to just explain, first spellcast teaches everything to do with magic. I think we've all done that, haven't we? We've all done the first course, so you would have passed that course. If people want their certificates in natural magic, please do contact D for the £2.50. Place your certificates. He's doing the certificates at the moment. We'll get those out. You then now go on to do the advanced course. That's joining the coven. Okay. Once you've joined, you have to assign a separate group. We've got a separate group for it. We were talking about High Priestess. Everybody is coveners. They then become a High Priestess or a priest. They do their first degree, second degree, and then they will finally do their third degree. So the third degree is becoming a High Priestess themselves. It's very integral. It's extremely intense. It's to do with lots of removal of hexes. We have to attend meetings. We have to go to all of the Sabbaths and stuff like that. All the different events like Yule, winter solstice. We join. We do our rituals. It's very intense course. So if you haven't signed up to it, it's advisable too if you want to become part of Coven. If you're a solitary witch, or you're just somebody who likes to just play around and have a bit of adventure and stuff, that is entirely up to you, of course. I'm just checking in the attendees. Here we go. I've got 6 now. Checking out this video. Everybody's here. That should be here. It's interesting. 1, 2, 3. Why is it saying 6? I'm not understanding that at all. It went up to 6, but how could it have been 6? Because, okay, it's interesting. That's that in here. Right, so the first thing I'd like you to do in this, okay, is to learn to do the mini spell. So this is the Bewitched course. It's nothing to do with the advanced course. The advanced course is very in-depth knowledge. It's our coven. It's everything that we're going to be doing as a team for 3 whole years. Although this will teach you about covens, what covens are. Now a coven is a group of people who come together who believe in magic. Minimum, normally, an ideal group would be 13, maximum 20. We've got 7 in our coven so far. That's going to grow, I know it is. What we do is we help one another. It's a secret, almost like a secret. So we don't tell each other members. We're not allowed to say members' names. It's all to do with our magic and what magic we'll be performing as a group. And then people go out and they do assignments and they learn exactly how it is to become a witch. Now this Bewitched is to discuss that, talk about it, and talk about what it is that we all do and want to do as witch. So if you're going to be a solitary witch, or you're going to be working on your own, then you're just going to be interested in just maybe the basics of magic and the basic spell work and what to do in order to get you to do what it is you want. So this course is more practical. It's more about going outside, making besoms, making amulets, puppets, and anything like that. We will be learning to do also basic spell work in this course. So all of them complement one another. First course is very sort of beginner's course into natural magic. The second is advanced. We'll be looking at proper removal of curses, hexes, very like magic. I can't tell you too much about it because I'm breaking the rules myself. So the money spell, in order to do the money spell, you must have seen and watched me do it live. Well, I'm going to teach you how to do it, okay? So what you need is a candle, a green candle, and a little holder. Okay. Now, preferably you would have done the first course because I don't want any attachments or anybody getting into a mess over this, because at the end of the day you should be doing things properly. You call in the quarters, you call in the north, and you ask to lend the power of earth, which is from the north. So you ask to lend the power of north, and you say hail and welcome. You then move to the east, and you're preferably better off getting a compass to do it and pointing it exactly where the compass, where the quarters are in your house. You then will go to the east, and you do exactly the same, but you ask them to lend the power of air, and then you say hail and welcome God, hail and welcome. And then you do exactly the same to the south, which is the fire, and then to the west, and then you would turn clockwise. Okay. And when you're turning clockwise, you then get back to the north, and then you would thank great lords and ladies. Okay, so that's the god and goddesses. If you hear me, I say Lavata, that is the goddess that I work with. And also I would then call upon any other deity, and I would also respect any deities around me and spirits. And I would also give thanks, okay? And then that's where you're drawing your energy to. So you hold your wand out to the north, because that's where the energy goes to. Because that's where we are. We're Earth. Okay, so it's a very basic spell. So you just call in the quarters. I tend to, you would open your circle first in a clockwise direction to say, please can you protect the circle and enhance my energy, and then you would cast your spell. Now your money spell, you just get a green candle. You then oil it, and you prefer to oil it to the middle and then back up to the middle. You then use, to get it really, really enhanced, you can use cinnamon and spearmint. So mint is really, really good. And if you think about it, mint, coins, mint, it all adds up. Anyway, so then you just make 3 indents into the candle at the bottom with a coin, preferably, but you can use your anthem as well, or a knife, whatever it is you want to use, and place the indents, and then you can either cover it in herbs. It's entirely up to you. And then if you see what I do, now most people don't bother using their cauldron at all. They just use the method of burning the paper, and that's it. Or they can just seal it. They seal the bits of paper with the candle wax. But for me, I use my cauldron. Okay, it's a lot more better. It's more powerful, I think, by using the power of fire. So then what we do is we place the candle into a holder. We then light it, and if you watch me, wand, and you go. You can make your own spells up and stuff like this. This is a very generic spell. It's used by quite a lot of people. It's a very common spell. Lots and lots of people know it. And you just say, money come to me, harm to none, so must it be. And you've seen me do it quite a few times. And then you fold it, and you literally seal. Very close downstairs, it's on that side. And you seal with the candle wax, and you fold it in again, and you say exactly the same again. For any of that, you do need to put the intention into it. Make sure you've got the protection and the intention into the thought of the spell. And also, before you do that, please get the name. Sometimes it's better to have date of birth, not 100%, important, but it's nice to do it. Make sure, you're doing it under certain moons, planetary hours, if required. Now, for your planetary hours, please do go to Google and search up your planetary hours. Now, you fold it in, you seal it, you fold it in again with the name of the person and ask for an amount, and that's all you do. And then what you would do is then put it into the cauldron. Now, you would need cauldron, and you'd need charcoal, and you would just literally light it. Okay, so it's as easy as that. Once you've done that, you then have to release the quarter. So you then have to go into an anti-clockwise position, and you would then go to the west and thank the west for lending the power of water. Then you go to the south and you thank them for lending you the power of fire. Then you go to the east and you thank them for lending you the power of air. And then you go back to the north and you draw back the energy into the wand, because you've already put the wand up to the north prior to your spell. You draw it back into the wand, and then you'd thank the great Lord deities, in particular, whatever one it is you're working with. I work with angels. Not everybody does. Everybody's got different ways of doing it. I like prayer. If anybody wants to buy her spell kit, it's online and stuff like that. She is for me, but she works in the best way that I do. It's exactly very, very similar, but I'm slightly different. Okay. Now, lots of people will work in different ways. Now, our coven is going to work in a totally, entirely different way to what I've just said there. But that's something that we're going to do together. We will make the best decisions to do this. I'm going to just check the chat. Sorry, I'm chatting on here. So hi everyone. How's it going now? Doctors. Okay, true. So there you go. So who can hear me? Because Janet said she can't hear me very well. I'll shout. Also could put my earplugs in. Okay, I'll try to speak louder, okay? So this is the money spell. This is the one that I've been using online. I would like you, all of you, to have done this and got back to me and said, done. Okay, cool. And it's really good for you because you're able to do this too. I've permitted you to use what I use. Thursday, okay? Best day to do it. If you can't do it on a Thursday, do it on the on the planetary hour for that day. The money is a Thursday, and it would be the planetary hour of that day. So that could be say 8 to 2, you know. And what you can do is check your planetary hours, Google it. It's really, really easy. I did it in the previous class before and let you know. So love spell. Okay, what I'm teaching you now is a love spell. Now, what you do for a love spell is you get the names of the two people, if it's a relationship, okay? And what you would do is you get their date of birth and you would get their affirmation. It's very important to have their affirmation. After all, it's their desire. It's not your desire, it's their desire. If you're doing a big one like I did last night, then that's fine. That's generic. That's absolutely perfectly fine. But for a individual spell for somebody else, or if it's for yourself, do put the names down, dates of birth, and make sure that you've got all of that information, okay? Rose petals are pretty wonderful for love, okay? You'll be doing this in the hour of Venus, okay? On a Friday, Venus falls under. You have to have your oil, preferably rosemary oil, okay? This is a very pretty oil. Anoint it. You get a red or a pink candle and you anoint the candles. Then what I would do is place little things around, okay? So get a heart-shaped piece of paper, little pink bits of ribbon. You could add, what could you add? You've got to be quite creative, okay? Spell work is about creation. It's creating your own spell. You're chanting and stuff like that. You hear me singing. That's my own chanting. Rhymes, rhythms, and stuff like that. What also you would have to rose quartz nearby and a shell. You would use a shell, okay, in the love spell. And then what you would do is you could do exactly the same. It's where you put the names down, stuff like that. You make up a rhyme, call in the wind, call in the east, and you literally make up your own tune. That's what I want you to do. I want you to write your own words, your own spell. Okay, it's very creative. This course is going to be very practical. You're going to actually be visually watching me make a besom, and that's what we're going to be teaching next. Okay, with this one you can put it into the cauldron, but you don't necessarily have to do it with the love spell. You could literally have on your altars 2 little candles brightly burning lovely away. Now spell work does work better under certain moons. Also, it does work better if it's at night, okay? Just let you be aware of that. So here we go. We're going to be making a broom. And you're going to need your stuff, say, in about a week's time. If you can't do it, that's fine by me. But I'm just going to briefly explain the way to do it. This was an introductory, this lesson. It's very quick. It's going to be because the practical side of it is going to be when we're together watching me on Zoom. So the default microphone has changed to microphone blue snowball and will now be used. Hopefully you should hear me better now. So here's step 1 materials. You get a straight stick, okay? Could be about 5 foot long, 6 foot long. You know, like an old cheap broom. You could buy one of those, okay? And you gather twigs and you cut them all up and you make them into equal sizes, okay? You get strong cordage and strong string, okay? That's what you need. So really twigs, an old cheap broom and some cordage and string, okay? You then disassemble it. So you literally take from the old broom, you take everything off it, you disassemble the broom, okay? You can actually go out and just buy, you can actually just get a natural stick from the woods if that's what you prefer to do. It's entirely up to you. So you set one side of the stick and you abort halfway through and you down onto the bristles, okay? So you've got the broom and then you add it about halfway down and you put into it the bristles. Okay, it's really easy. It's so easy. You bunch it up. You pull out, say, 12 feet of twine and you tie like a loop and you do it about 3 inches or so, which will aid in tying the twine later. Now, it's so much more easy for me to teach this practically, and that's why I'm going to be doing lots more practical stuff. So as you see me doing my spells online, making brooms and stuff, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be taking you outside, collecting stuff. You'll see it'd be really, really interactive. You'll be seeing me going outside with nature and I'll be teaching you all about the trees and stuff like that. I think it's, you know, going to be really, really cool. I'm going to teach you how to make your own anthem, teach you how to make your own wands and stuff like that. So it's really good if you say you want to get into the business of selling your own handmade creative stuff as well. So then you slip the loop and the bundle and you put the bristles in and the twigs at the end and you stick at the top of it and then you wind it around. So you wind in the string around and around and around and you absorb it in water, and then what you do is, so that it's so thick and tight, and you wind it around and around and around and you get like a little tiny nail and you notch it in. It's so easy to do, but I'm going to have to teach you how to do it practically because it's so difficult to explain it on here. See, I mean, look here, I've even wrote it wrong. And feed the og end of the twine through the looped end. Hilarious. So you then pull the end through the twine, tightly wrap it around and around the bristles for the first few wraps. So what you're doing is you put it in, you wind it around, you pull it in, wind it around. You make sure the bristles are distributed around the stick are fairly even, because what happens is you end up with a really, really crooked broom. If you've ever seen that, where some people try to make brooms, you got one long end, one little end and stuff like that. So anybody here actually made their own, and what we're going to do is design them. So we can get some designing going on. We can have a competition, couldn't we, of the best broom made and get like ribbon around it with all little ribbons and little bits and sequins, whatever it is. Really creativity. Now that's what it's about, and this is what this course is going to do. It's going to teach you the practicality of doing witch stuff. Also, we'll be looking at herbs, how to use a pestle and mortar and mixing all your herbs and making all different ingredients. Now I don't know if you've seen that girl who's doing it online. Oh, MG, she copied me. She was one of my students and she went off and did it on her own, and she ain't got no, she got nothing. She didn't even know about anything about the quarters, nothing, and she's just doing all the spell work. It's very important, as I've said before, to use all the protection and stuff like that and everything that you've learned so far in the craft. Okay, so has anybody got any questions at the moment? So what I need you to do really is go out and get everything you need to get a broom. Now, most of it is through Mother Nature. You can make a broom. You don't have to, it's not expensive. You can just go out and get loads of wood and stuff like that, okay? And twigs you get from Mother Nature. You could get, with cordage and the string, you could use really tight, I'm trying to think.
Like, I'm trying to think of a tree that you could take that off. I think tree could you take that off? Depending on what country you're in. You can use your imagination for sure. There's so many things out there that are just, you know, that we could use and recycle and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to be doing, getting like, you know, like those whirly things that you can make and you stick outside, make fairy trees. I've made little ones for birch tree. Not good. I've put my earplugs in. I've done the money spell. I can hear you laugh out loud. Good. I've made little ones birch tree. Yeah, birch tree. And what we'll be doing is making like a little fairy house, all sorts of things, making spells together. I'm going to teach you how to do all of these things. The candle making course, if you're most, I think all of you are on that, aren't you? And that's going to be really good as well. That's going to be learning about protection spells, all the different aromas, herbs to use to add to candles, because using your own candles is better, because we're going to learn beeswax candles, we're going to learn, and I'm getting Dee to actually help me with some of the practical stuff, because obviously I'm going to be talking and stuff like that. I'm not going to be able to do all the practical stuff, and I have taught him how to do most of it. So he knows how to make wands, he knows how to make a crystal wand, he knows how to make brain, he knows how to do the candles, stuff like that. I've taught him to do it because obviously, because my limited time now due to all the classes and readings and stuff like that, I'm so limited. So what I've done is I've talked to you so that he can help me teach. So I'm going to have him, it's going to be quite funny, isn't it, have him doing some of the practical stuff with us. So a lot of the knowledge base that I'll be teaching, he'll be doing some practicals, but I'll be doing some of the practical as well, with the brooms and stuff like that. Also think of doing competitions with fairy houses and getting these out there into the public as well, because that's really good, and trying to get them sold. So if anybody wants anything sold, we could get it online, and then you have the money and all of these things, if that's what you like to do. Also learning to engrave your own name, be really good also to get your star signs, dates and stuff like that, get them onto your work. Whenever you're making something, make it very personalize it yourself. So if you're making a wand, get like your name on that wand, and then engrave your star sign for astrology and stuff like that. So that's really important. Also, we'll be doing spells outside. Going to make an altar outside as well, so that'd be really cool, doing an outside altar, because not everybody's into doing an altar indoors, so that's going to be very good. So at this moment in time, what I'm asking you, okay, it's a very short abbreviation introduction into this course, is gathering as many resources as you can at this moment, okay? So you're going to need wood, string, herbs, candles, mainly from Mother Nature preferably, because it's going to be practical. We're going to be going out there. It's going to be this course time, how long this course is going to run. It's going to be quite a long time. I don't like to rush the courses. I think it's more about having a community where we're actually learning together and learning different tricks of the trade and stuff. I don't just want to put time limits onto the courses, because for me that's not quality. I want to provide as much quality as possible for everybody to learn. We need candles. So if you're going to be making your own candles, you need soya or beeswax and stuff like that. You need a thermometer. But I'll teach you all of that in the candle stuff. So because we've got to be careful not to cross too many courses. So the spell casting, okay, is was the first foundation. That was teaching you everything. So that taught you all about the planetary hours, taught you about the moons, the faces and stuff like that. The advanced is amazing. That's the Coven, okay? That's where we're going to be for 3 years learning to get your first degree, second degree and third degree. There's no more charges at all to do with the witch stuff now, because I've covered the knowledge base, which was the first one. We've now got the Coven together, and now we've got the practical. So they're all complementing each other. Also, if you haven't got your altar kit and stuff like that, it's okay if you haven't got that and you haven't done the first lot and the second classes, because what you could use is the basics that we need for each of that lesson. So at the moment, do you understand what it is that I'm asking? So I don't know if I've explained it properly. I could write the list of the things that you need down into the actual classroom. Would that help? Thinking learning styles, not everybody's. Yeah, I like to have a go at making soap with herbs. You have to be very careful with making soaps. If you're going to be selling it to the general public in the UK, you have to have it tested by the chemists. It's classed under licensing and stuff like that, also trading standards. It costs an awful lot of money to set up, awful lot of money for the licenses, and actually it's not worth it anybody to even do it, because it has to be tested properly. You then get a license and then you're able to sell it. So if it's for your own benefit, Janet, that's a really good idea. But if it's for the general selling of products to the public, it's tricky. I know that because I was setting up a business. Before I did my Secret Stuff Live, I was actually going to set up a candle business, and I was setting up a soap business and stuff like that. When I looked at the complicatedness of setting up, making bath bombs, soaps and stuff like that, well, honestly, I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe the things you have to go through. Now, making candles and stuff like that, you can actually buy the labels and stuff. Warning labels, you stick them on at the back, you can sell them, as long as you are warning the public of what it is you're selling, okay, and the safety methods. But because the people have skin conditions and stuff like that, they're very particular as who sells soaps. And I think rightfully so as well, because essentially it is could possibly affect somebody's skin. So yeah, be careful. As long as you're doing it for you, in relation to the soap, that's fine. If it's to do with selling that to the general public, I advise against it, or to go out and actually research with trading standards and Google it, what it is you require in order to get that license, because I know it's very difficult here in the UK. Now, in America, I think it's very different there, actually. I think in the USA, they're allowed to. Just don't want anyone getting into trouble. Jurisdictions, all blooming different jurisdictions. It's terrible doing all the courses internationally, knowing which one's which. It's like for herbs in the UK, very strict. Herbalism is, certain herbs you're not allowed to use and stuff like that. Whereas in the USA, it's less stringent, but then it's different in a different state. And then you have to have licensing laws in certain countries where you have to be a medium and set up as a medium, and not in the UK. And it's like, gosh, like there's so many, universal law. There's only one law, the universal law. That's the one that we should be all going by. Wouldn't that be absolutely fantastic if we all did? But unfortunately, there is physical law, as I said, and we have to respect those laws. But yeah, if you do understand that, I'm going to write a list of all the stuff that you required to make the broom. We will be doing that next week, so please get prepped for that. Very excited about this, and I think not just that, it's going to set you aside for your practical and creative knowledge, and to make a very good witch and be a very bewitched person, you need to have that. Also in this course, we will be talking about covens and solitary witches and stuff like that, covering some of the basis of the first course, but more practical, more about getting out and about into nature and actually doing things about it. Christmas is going to be an exciting time. We've been making things for Christmas. Very happy about that. And Janet, you're going to love it. You'll be selling it in your hampers. So we'll be getting some ideas what we can make for Christmas, and doing some meditations and stuff like that. But it's totally different to the advanced, okay? The advanced is very, very intense. Hexes, removing them, and removing residual energies, cleansing and stuff like that. Learning to use your psychic ability in witchcraft, which is quite difficult, okay? It's like last night when I'm doing the singing and chanting and stuff like that. Spirits, oh my gosh, you can feel them, and they're very old, very Victorian. You get the smells and everything that are coming in with them, and the spirits are unknown, so you don't know who they're connected to or anything. You're literally calling in the spirits of the elements and the nature spirits. They're beautiful. They are so beautiful. They just fill the air with their aroma and stuff like that. That's what I'll be teaching you. I'll be teaching the very, very advanced steps in order for you to do that. So this is more practical side. So I hope that helps for now. I'm going to get into the pool, and I'm going to put everything that it is you need down. But I did think better come on and tell you exactly what this introduction is all about, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of fun. So my hamper have gone crazy over the last few weeks. Baby being born. That's good though, Janet. That's really, really good. Proud of you. Very happy for you. Yeah, going to be a busy time for you, isn't it, with Christmas coming? Same for me. It gets really hectic. Christmas is crazy. I'm looking more forward to the spiritual side of things. I don't like consumerism. I much prefer the lovely feeling, the spirit of Christmas, and bringing in, the winter solstice when I do the big spell for that. It'd be really nice if everyone could be involved via Zoom soon. We tried to do that Halloween, but it didn't happen. And you know, I think it's very important that people actually do get involved and start branching out and do these things on your own. You're going to have someone come along. They're going to want everything and everybody. The thing is, you have to do these things on your own. I've learned quite a bit recently. It's quite scary, actually. But you know, it's very important to be yourself. It's okay being part of a coven, and I love that, you know, and I like teaching in a coven. But also, don't forget you're an individual as well. So keep hold of that. Keep hold of you. That's the most important thing. With any of these courses, any of these workshops, any spiritual work, it's important to be ourselves, okay? So I'm going to end it now, and if anybody has got any questions, please do let me know. I'm just checking on here. Some persons just... Why can't I get into my own phone? Wait to see if you've got any questions before before I end it. I'm straight back into another class after this. Oh, crazy. So yeah, thank you, Rachel. It's okay, Rachel. I have no questions then, but need to get back to work. Janet, you're being naughty. All right, darling. Speak soon, Angel. Lots of love to you all. Speak soon.